welcome to episode 7 of the Great Ace Attorney Adventures. Last time, we proved that Dr. Wilson was killed after he received the stake. Was killed before he received the stake. Or rather, he was killed. Basically, there was a burn mark on his wrist that was from the hot steak plate, but he only could have gotten that burn if he was dead, as such it was proven that when his steak was at the table and it was nice and warm, he was dead. Thus throwing a big monkey wrench in the prosecution's cage, which we are basically we're going after Jeanette, and we're trying to prove her guilty. Okay, let's move on. Sorry.
Yes, of course. Now, I mean, I'd be delighted to help, especially if it helps relations between my country and yours. My queen can speak to me! I mean, is it right? You speak Japanese? I mean, of course you can! You're perfect! You're my goddess! Well, of course I do. I am staying in your country after all.
I love just how Hosonaga, he's completely dumbfounded. He's like, you harlot. You harlot. I had to translate for you. I had to basically be your freaking Google Translate because you are too lazy to actually speak for yourself. You whore. Don't ever come back to my restaurant because I will spit in your food. But then, why have you speaking to an interpreter until just now?
I get turned on when he breathes in my ear. Is it so wrong to be aroused? My mother tongue, the Queen's English, is the most refined and elegant language in the world. As a gentlewoman, I try to avoid speaking your vulgar tones as much as possible. But it seems the men in this land possess none of the chivalrous virtues of English gentlemen.
Yeah, we're gonna see some fine English gentlemen later. Yeah, I mean, not everyone can be... Well, I'm sorry, lady, that not every guy on Earth can be Professor Motherfrickin' Layton. I mean, really. Why don't you just tell random guys on the street, hey, move the sun? Really, we can't all be Professor Layton. We can't all be Professor Herschel Layton.
So I can see that I shall have no... down at CzarThwomp, you freaking vulgish boar. You can't, you mistake me for Samugi. So I can see that I shall have to lower myself to communicating with you all on your own level. Oh, well... You are maybe a true English gentlewoman. Now stop on my crotch. It will turn me on. We are truly honored by this, the lavish consideration you so graciously afford us.
I see. In that case, Miss Brett, I will now ask you to testify in your own words about the events leading up to the death of the victim, Dr. Wilson. So, we're finally going to hear her own words on the matter. We're going to hear her own words on the matter. Things are getting interesting, Ryonosuke. Sorry, I didn't notice he was speaking. The victim's death, and meanwhile Hosonaga, he's just still there.
Unfortunately, I have no idea when that poor man burnt his wrist like that. When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses in the toast. As far as I have heard, the post-mortem report showed no other possible cause of death besides the gunshot. If there's some other way a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace, please do show me. But of course, this country's inferior investigative techniques probably wouldn't pick up on it anyways.
That most captivating and beautiful testimony will go down in the Supreme Court's history. Thank you. Easy does it. Why am I seeing some weird flashing sparkle out of the side of my right eye? I don't think that's healthy.
I hope that this is the last time I'll have to soil my lips with the coarse tones of your unbecoming tongue. Oh, forgive me. I do hope I haven't insulted anyone. Not at all! It's a delight merely to hear you speak, dear lady. For I am but the founding simp. I am but a humble simp.
Sorry about that. Need to drink my acai mixed berry V8. It refreshes me. Yes, I actually like the acai berry V8. It's much better than the original V8 that literally tastes like I'm drinking rust in a can.
It seems very clear from your testimony that this boorish talking that makes us murder is utterly irrelevant. I was speaking to your country's Minister of Justice about what has happened here today. The Minister of Justice? May that irritating little bully of a student be given the harshest punishment possible. Amen.
Huh? Thanks? What was that, a prayer then? Yes! Everyone prays for Phoenix's ancestors to get struck down. No, really, you think that's a prayer against Phoenix's ancestors? Kristoff, meanwhile, in the 21st century, is like, ha! You think that's a prayer against right? That is but a mere remark. You want to see prayers against right? I'll show you prayers against right. Kristoff goes in his closet, he just turns on a light, and it reveals just this giant room just dedicated to hating Phoenix. It's plastered with pictures of Phoenix's head on the wall, with stab marks, with darts in them. Some of them have been burnt around the edges. Just as a giant pentagram in the center of the floor, a voodoo doll. Kristoff has a goat's head. Kristoff has a picture of Manfred von Karma. He just has all these things. Kristoff prays to where the prayers will go. Just to strike Phoenix down. Well, you'll have to give the irritation, Miss Brett, and put up with a cross-examination now. I expect you've noticed that this little bully of a student, as you put it, doesn't miss much, except when he misses everything. I'm sure I don't need to remind you, counsel, that this will be your final cross-examination in this trial. If you fail to demonstrate any problems with this witness's testimony, I will be ruling on the case immediately. Is that clear? Face slap! Yes, Your Excellency. Then you may proceed with the cross-examination. The victim's death. And now I am paranoid. I am really, really paranoid about whether or not my recording is actually recording. Is it recording? Please tell me I'm recording. Am I recording? Good, I am recording. Good. Okay, good. I'm sorry, I just get a little freaked out once in a blue moon because I'm like, did I press the record button? Yeah, I'm just looking through the things. Okay. Just checking. Okay, I'm searching. Yeah, but I'm really liking this song. Yeah, I'll press this first. Without leaving a trace.
If someone is shot or strangled or stabbed or thrown from a height, however a person's life is taken, there is always a terrible trace on the body. Quite right, dear Queen! And our police force has thoroughly examined the body of the deceased. There can be no doubt. Isn't that right, Inspector Hosonaga? As I've said, I always aim for a flawless investigation. There would be physical traces with all those causes of death, that's true. But maybe there's some other way of killing someone that doesn't leave a mark. If, heaven forbid, you doubt me, young man, you're going to have to tell everyone how exactly you think the professor did lose his life. Otherwise, I'm afraid your argument falls rather flat, doesn't it? no! Perish the thought! Calling such a sweet young queen's innocence into question! On my honor, I, Takatsuchi Aochi, will cut down any who dare cast aspirations!
A way of killing someone that leaves no trace. We need some evidence to back us up here. Yes, evidence. Yeah, I'll press from the start. But his hand was on a searing hot plate for at least 3 whole seconds. You can't not have noticed.
Do you think so? Let me ask you something.
Sorry?
Ever since I arrived at this courtroom, and even still now, the fly on those unsightly black trousers of yours have been wide open. I have been seeing your lawyer junk. You can't not have noticed, can you?
Huh? What? Ah! Yes, Felix's ass is more smushed.
Haha! What fun! You haven't realized? The dear queen is absolutely right!
As your friend, you've embarrassed me as well as yourself, Ryunosuke. Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't anyone tell Ryunosuke? And then that makes me wonder, has Phoenix ever done that?
Dr. Wilson was a true English gentleman. He chose honorable silence over a vulgar scream. Can your tiny brains imagine such a thing?
Now I'm just imagining something like this happening to Professor Layton. Professor Layton gets his arm sliced off, but yet keeps quiet because he wants to be civil and a gentleman.
Professor! Your arm has been sliced off!
Luke, it's no issue. My arm has been... Tis merely a flesh wound, Luke. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a puzzle to do. Now, you mind holding that other side of that Rubik's Cube with your hand, Luke? I only have one, as you can see.
Oh yes, I think my tiny brain can!
Yes! Well, I can't!
Anyways...
sorry, my voice is starting to give. Yes! As you testified before, you were drinking carbonated water, is that right?
Dr. Wilson was only permitted to drink water at the time, if you remember. Which explains why he ordered that drink, correct, waiter?
Exactly as you say, sir. Although... Whether or not the professor actually drank any of the water when I delivered the steak to the table, I'm afraid I don't remember that.
Damn you. Ah! I have enough English to understand that at least. For the benefit of others, in this court, it means bless you!
Yes! In that case, damn you, Ouchie! Damn you and your whole family! I think it means the exact opposite.
Anyways...
I'm just loving that. Yes! Yes, it's written here in the paperwork. Fatal hemorrhaging from ballistic trauma.
Yes! Luckily for all of us, a little burr on the wrist isn't going to kill us. And as there were no signs of trauma on the victim's body to indicate some sort of cause of death, it can only have been the bullet from your gun that put an end to this innocent man's life.
But it doesn't make sense. The burn must have happened straight away, when the plate was first brought to the table by the waiter. Yes, that's true. If it had cooled even slightly, you wouldn't have been able to make a burn like that. And if the victim burnt his wrist on the hot plate as soon as it was brought in from the kitchen, then he must have already been dead at that point, which is implying poison is the cause of death.
And yet, the fact is that the victim was killed by a gunshot to the chest. Until you are able to show the court evidence to disprove that, this is a complete waste of time.
I concur. Prosecutor Ouchie is right. Ah!
If there's some other way, yes.
Yes! Inferior? What do you mean by that?
In the lands of the Great British Empire, the police store everything found at a crime scene for later examination. They store it in the wall safe. But in this country, you investigate once and that's the end of it. Isn't that so? Quite right! La Carnival's over business as usual today, just days after the incident. Exactly, which means that even if the investigation takes a slightly different direction, vital evidence may be lost.
Oh yeah, they're taking in a concept from the Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright crossover game, in which basically multiple witnesses, basically someone may have a different opinion on something.
It doesn't even occur to your naive detectives to try to preserve the crime scene. I'm trying to be as tactful about this as I can. You can understand. Aha! Killer blow! The queen is as formidable as she is beautiful!
Amazing! He's actually admitting our police may be flawed. Perhaps Prosecutor Ouchie's finally starting to see sense. Or perhaps his brain has been waterlogged from bathwater. I very much doubt that. Still, there's something about what Miss Brett just said. There was a moment before when something didn't seem quite right. What do you think, Ria Nisuke? I think it's going terribly. No matter how much I press her, I'm not turning up any new information. Yes, as I suspected, she's a tough witness. We need to find a way to break her testimony, or the cross-examination will be over. But that would mean I had to find a way. There must be some clue somewhere to help us find a chink in this armor. Kazuma! What, Ria Nisuke? There is one thing I noticed, something that's been bothering me. Bothering you? You mean about Miss Britt? Actually, no. About the person sitting next to her, Inspector Hosonaga, the detective. The detective? Yes, he seems to react a little strangely to Miss Britt's last statement. I was wondering if it might be significant, if it might present an opening, maybe. All right, I have an idea. Try pressing her on the last statement one more time. If you think so, but this time instead of targeting the woman herself, let's see what we can get out of the detective. Alright then, I wonder what Kazuma's thinking. I'll find out soon enough, I suppose. Once I press Miss Bright on her last statement again.
Yes!
Yes, we already read that. Come on, give it to me, give it to me.
Wait.
Okay? Yes! There is again! The detective's reaction is just the same as before. Why? Up until now, the detective has been in the stand with Miss Brett as her interpreter. But things are very different now. For this testimony, the detective is just listening to what the English woman has to say. This could be a golden opportunity. What do you mean? When people are actually testifying, they're usually very careful not to let anything slip. However, when they're listening to someone else speak, you'll find they often let their guard down. You're right, look at him. He's lost his own thoughts. It's time to pursue the man on his train of thought. Sorry, pursue? I'll explain how to do it, Ria Nisuke. It has all to do with the witness marker. What marker? At the moment, we're focused on Miss Brett, who's the person actually making the current statement. And now, as you can see, we have dialogue. We have future dialogue that I have not stated yet. We have all of this going on. By moving the marker left and right with the D-pad, you can turn your attention to other people in the stand. While you're looking at other witnesses, you'll be able to pursue them with the A button. If you can catch that person at just the right time, you might uncover some new information to pursue. If you ever notice a strange atmosphere amongst the people in the stand, take a good look around. Alright then, so I should move the marker across with the D-pad and focus on the detective. Then pursue him with the A button and see what's on his mind. Here we go.
Wait.
Come on, let me turn. There we go.
Excuse me.
Yeah, excuse me. Excuse me is now Kanaga. What the? What is the meaning of? Ahem, 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 ahem. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to shock you. He really was lost in his thoughts deeply. It looked like you were thinking something just now, Inspector. Perhaps having heard what the lady next to you had said. If there's something you'd like to say, please share it with the court.
Objection!
What is the meaning of this? It's a delightful English woman who's testifying at the moment. If you can't find fault with her testimony, then the cross-examination should be over immediately.
Oh, is that how it works? Absolutely not. The detective is in the stand, which makes him a valid witness. Yes, not to mention the fact that he's intimately involved in the case. Inspector Hosonaga.
Yes.
Do you have something to add in relation to the statement just made by Miss Brett?
Well, yes. If you don't mind, I would like to speak. The lady is right. Our country's police practices are not as modern as those used in Great Britain. Which is why I, Satoru Hosonaga, always try to make every investigation I'm involved in flawless. And if this hussy dares to say otherwise, I will introduce her to the backside of my left hand. Notice how badass my left hand looks. I am ready to fight someone. I will fight her in this courtroom now. Your Honor, let us not record the next 5 minutes to the record.
What do you really mean by that?
I'll tell you what I mean. I wouldn't have evidence lacking on my watch. I'm not afraid to take everything I can from the scene of the crime. It's preserving evidence, you see. I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief. I'm not ashamed of what I've done. And my grin shows that I am ready to take the world. Ahem, 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 ahem.
A crime scene thief? Well, it looks like the laser marks touched a nerve there.
Take this, for example.
Is that...
This is the bottle of carbonated water that I took from the victim's table on the day in question. And yes, it lost all of its fizz, having been opened 3 days ago now. But it was carbonated water. I don't care what anyone says.
Yes, there's some left in the bottle. I can see it.
One day our police force will be among the best in the world.
And then, which is kind of funny considering that the Ace Attorney games in the Japanese version take place in Japan. So, by that logic, a century later, we have Gumshoe who's questioning what logic is.
The time is coming, I guarantee it. Ahem, 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 ahem.
I can't say I condone the witness's actions, but I do understand the sentiment. The court will accept the glass bottle of water as evidence. Carbonated water bottle has been entered into the court record. Miss Brett, can you confirm that this is indeed the bottle from which you drank from on the day of the victim's death?
Yes, it was that bottle.
What was that about? She seemed to avert her eyes when she answered the judge's question. Okay, my battery's going low. Soon I'll have it where, after this cross-examination, I'm going to end the episode off and plug my iPad in. Yes. And the inspector will calmly control his fervor.
Ahem.
Okay. The label is written in a foreign language that I don't recognize. Do you know what it says, Kazuma? I think it's French. This was the very expensive water. Yes, but what does it say? That's why I was asking. Then go to France and ask. You could just say you don't know. So this is carbonated water. So this carbonated water is the last drink Dr. Wilson ever had. It looks like there's a little left in the bottle, although it's just plain water now. You know, I've been swaying so much, I'm absolutely parched. I'll just have a sip of this to keep me going. No, Ryunosuke, you can't do that! For one thing that's evidence. You can't go drinking evidence. Oh no, you're right. We don't know what might be inside, do we? You never cease to amaze me, Ryunosuke, in more ways than one. I wonder, could there be anything in this water? What's the matter? You've gone quiet all of a sudden. I think I might have worked something out. An interesting possibility. Okay, just want to do it.
Yes!
Water bottle! Water! What is this? The bottle of water? We'll answer that next time. Anyways, I really appreciate that you stuck around to watch this episode. You're a reviewer, and hope you come back for the next one. If you like this video, like, subscribe, comment, share, do whatever you want. I'll see you next time. Bye.